Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal on a delightful Tuesday morning. It's 6 degrees here in British Columbia, which would equate to 43 in American. And I must say that there are some mornings when you realize how lucky you are to just have a chest cold. You know, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was choking my lungs out, feeling very sorry for myself, and you know, praying that it wouldn't get to be bronchitis or pleurisy or something like that. You know, those sort of wonderfully positive thoughts that you have in the middle of the night when you're trying to breathe. And then I woke up this morning and was still coughing pretty badly. And then you hear the news and hear that a plane went down in south of France, and that there were no survivors. And you go, wow, am I glad I just have a chest cold. So I talk about this a lot every week, I guess, one way or another, but you know, it's amazing how you need to look at these world events and be thankful that you're not part of them. And if you can, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't listen to the news, they're just so depressing. Well, I actually find the news indirectly very positive on my life, because I keep giving thanks that I'm not involved in whatever terrible thing is going on. And I find that very motivating. You know, I'm very grateful I live in Canada, very grateful I have, you know, the life that I do. And so it's all about perception. If you want to listen to the news and just hear it as totally depressing, it is what it is. You know, life is full of good things and bad things, and to pretend otherwise is to live a lie. You know, if you don't listen to it, doesn't mean it's not going on. It just means that you're not aware of what's going on. So just think of it in balance, if you like. So this morning I'm very grateful to have a chest cold and good doctors and a good medical system to look after me. Oh, I meant to take a different route to work this morning, didn't I? Because we have the right, I'm already late. Oh well, let me just take the risk and go straight. Hopefully it's late enough that they won't hold me up too long. So I had a wonderful chat last night with a friend, and the reason it was a wonderful chat was because it was about love. And I don't get many calls on that issue these days, and so it was magical. And this is a friend of mine who's about to be doing quite a big trip away. He's weeks away from doing it, and what does he do? He goes and falls in love. And then, of course, he's got now the wonderful dilemma, which does he stay, does he go, whatever. And of course then what do I think he should do? And I said, I've got to be the worst person in the world to ask this to. Of all the people in the world you want to ask this question to, Sal is the worst one in the world, because I'm a dyed-in-the-wool romantic. And I have... Oh, that is so cute. I hope I remember to talk to you about the Land Rover lights. Anyway, if I don't, remind me to ask me a question on the comments about the Land Rover lights if I forget to come back to it. Anyway, so I said I'm the worst person in the world. I got straight through the reconstruction of the road. Yay! And so I'm the worst person because I'm a true romantic, and therefore twice in my life I have given up all intelligent decisions to follow love, and both times it didn't go too well eventually. But I wouldn't have missed either of them for the world, because I love to be in love. I don't know about the rest of you. That's probably why I'm alone these days. But I just said, I really don't mind what you do. I don't mind if you go on your vacation or not. You see, I just want you to be happy. I would hate you to spend all that money on this incredible vacation and then have half your mind always back with the romance thing, where you weren't really enjoying what you were doing because of you were missing the romance thing. But I said, I really have to tell you, this is your call, absolutely. And I just am delighted to hear that you're in love, because I know how insane that is. And it is, isn't it? It's an absolutely insane feeling. But wow, what a great feeling. And so I spent quite some time listening to all of this, and it gladdened my heart, quite honestly. I was just so delighted to listen to it all. And the cute thing was he kept apologizing for, sorry to tell you all of this, but I'm going, I know the feeling, how can you not tell it all, well, not all, but enough. And it was just so cute from somebody who's very rational and very together normally. Anyway, it was absolutely wonderful, and I wondered if any of you had any really good memories of being what I call insanely in love. I had it happen so many times in my time that should have been the heads up for me. All right, now before I forget, I've got to tell you about, I had a Land Rover behind me just as I was in the lineup there for the road construction thing. And I did get through very quickly. I was delighted. But the Land Rover, it must be a new one, has really cute lights. I'm not sure about where you live, but here in Canada, we drive with our lights on all the time. It's automatic on the cars that the lights stay on all the time. So, or the newer cars anyway, because it's much easier to see cars, especially in dull weather. So this Land Rover had these really cute sort of like, almost like, the Christmas lights that are in a tube. That's the closest that I can describe it. And it was almost like eyeliner to the main headlight. And it didn't sort of go just like this, it sort of went in a really interesting pattern, and you're going, that is so cute. So if any of you got a Land Rover with those lights, Yay. Love them. So, of course, my mind today is going to jump in and out of love affairs of my life, some of which have been very memorable and some of them I wish to forget. And now we'll remember, because I've opened up that door. And I think that's going to do me a lot of good today. I think I'll be smiling a lot and people will be wondering why. And that's a really good reason to walk around smiling, because it does make people wonder what she's thinking about, that she's smiling so much. So it was really cute, by the way. My new student arrived yesterday, and he's absolutely delightful and very quick read. You know, you can tell him something and he sort of gets it. I mean, at one stage yesterday I did say, you are either brilliant or you have a brilliant teacher. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I think he only made one slight mistake all day. And he did a lot of different things. So, it is, it's really inspiring to have a young person where you can actually teach them a whole lot more than just what the business is about. And that's why I love doing it, is because you get to teach them about stress management, you get to teach them about goals and aspirations and reality and psychology, all sorts of things. And yesterday I was, everybody started the day very stressed. We were one member of staff, a vital member of staff down, that causes, extra stress on everybody. And so what I was explaining to the student is, just keep your head down and don't chat to anybody in the morning, and you'll find by this afternoon everybody will be interacting at a different level. So then you can, they will interact with you and you can interact with them. And sure enough, by about 3 o'clock everybody's chit-chatting with them, and it was just like a different environment. We're discussing the hockey, and it was really, I couldn't have written the movie any better, if you know what I mean. And at the end of the day, I always do this with my students. I ask them, what did they learn? And I was very interested that his number one thing that he said, I think, was, it's amazing how people in such a high-stress job can be such nice people. I thought that was a pretty big compliment to the company. And I was explaining to him, as some of you know, we had a couple of people retire a few years ago, and the first one who retired had been there 32 years. Yeah. And the second one, I think, had only been there 30. I mean, she was a newbie by comparison. And I look at it that I'm really still quite a newbie. I've been there 10. Which I guess tells you a lot about the company. So then I was discussing with the student, because I want to teach him management as well. So what I need you to do is, during these 3 weeks, just to see how the staff are treated, so you will know how to treat staff when you have staff, which, will happen. And one of the things that he was impressed with was the amount of responsibility everybody has. It's like all our people are responsible in a big way. Now, on the downside of it, it was really funny how right in the middle of all of this going on, so I'm already obviously a little bit pushed for time because I'm training and I am trying to get all those things organized and put out fires at the same time. And then and of course, as luck will have it, we also have auditors in for our general audit, and it was really quite amusing because right in the middle of this they asked me a question, and there was something about the voice tone and the look, you know what I mean, don't you, which is, it was very accusatory in in its methodology. I'm not saying that they meant it that way, but it sure, the look and the tone were very accusatory. And I don't know about you, but that immediately puts my back up. If somebody asks me a very, polite, normal question, I normally answer in a very polite, normal way. But when somebody goes and asks a question that sounds like you've screwed up before they've even finished asking the question, it sort of puts you on the defensive, doesn't it? So I sort of really thought out my answers because I did not want to hang myself, from the nearest tree on this one. So it was really quite funny, and eventually I understood what they were getting at. Because that's the other thing that happens when people do that to you, is you... Excuse me. The other thing that happens to you is you shut down part of your 3 brain cells that are working. And so, once I sort of understood what they were really asking versus what they had asked, then I relaxed and I did it at a whole, I managed to sort of answer at a whole different level. But it was really quite funny up until then. It was just like, really? So, as you can probably tell, my voice and my lungs have had about enough of this broadcast. So I'm going to just wrap it up and say that be very grateful for each day that you have, and be grateful that you weren't on a plane that went into the side of a mountain or whatever else. Be very grateful for the few friends you might have, because maybe one will contact you. Ah, look at that, there's another Land Rover coming towards me. And how do I know it's another Land Rover? Because of the lights that it's got at the front. I learned something today. It's just as cute when it's coming at you. Okay, so it's a Range Rover, same thing. So just be very grateful for what you have, and be very happy to have friends that can talk to you about love, even if you don't have any yourself. Enjoy every moment of it, as I did. And thank you all for being here and for listening. I always think it would be so lonely just talking to myself. So the fact that you guys do actually listen is a miracle. And thank you for those people who comment. I'm always very grateful for that. I'm going to get off this broadcast. Going to send you a big hug. And I hopefully will talk to you tomorrow. So look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now. Bye.